Have you ever played Monopoly before? If you don't, you'll miss this great thing in your childhood. If you do, well, congratulations! During this remote movement order, you probably wanted to play a game, but at the same time needed to revise your mathematics for your final exam. It's a big headache, isn't it? Well, don't you worry, because we got you! Introducing Mathmonopoly, a game basically for mathematic nerds or Monopoly lovers, because Mathmonopoly is the fusion between mathematics and Monopoly. Now you can learn mathematics in a productive way. Let me introduce myself. My name is Firdaus and this is my group members. You can read it from here. We are Group 4 MathX from Hayat 3. The Mathmonopoly that we created is different because the math topic that being focused on is differentiation. You can create a Mathmonopoly with other different topics, no wrong there though. The theme for Mathmonopoly centered around PPPU, where players can relate everything in this game to themselves. Before we start the introduction of Mathmonopoly, allow me to recap back subtopics name of the differentiation LU1 in early semester, which you guys have learned already. First is derivative of the first principle, which involves x and x plus h. Second one is the rule of differentiation, which you're supposed to master it already. Next, exponential function, logarithm function, and trigonometric function. And lastly is parametric differentiation and application of differentiation. For our Mathmonopoly, the questions are mainly in differentiation, no mixing with other topics. As I said before, Mathmonopoly questions can be used in various mathematic topics. The reason of this is to encourage students to be familiar with differentiation that have hard subtopics. Not only that, this Mathmonopoly is a creative way or a practical way to enhance one's interest in mathematics. This helps students to score better in an upcoming exams or quizzes. It is challenging and fun as we play in a group. Monopoly lovers who love this might find differentiation topics are easy to be digested. Lastly, they can train themselves in strategizing. Just like any other board games, the player must plan and steal the chances of winning from other players. Not only competing, they also can learn to collaborate with others if they stumble upon a very difficult questions. That's the benefit if you have a nerd friend. Ahem. There are slight differences between our Mathmonopoly and a normal Monopoly. One of it is intensive class replacing the jail. Just like the jail, players who fall into intensive class will have to wait around before they can get back into the game. Players can fall into intensive class by rolling dice into it, or by getting their answers wrong twice in a row from every square. Our friend Echa will demonstrate this situation. However, players can escape the intensive class by answering a pop quiz or by keeping MC letters from Unima's clinic. Once players have escaped, they must start again 2 spaces behind where they left off to ensure fairness. Next is the student's special card. It acts like Monopoly chance card. The cards contain essential instruction, either it is good or bad to the player. Players will take one card from this category when they land on a square of student's special. Players must follow the special instruction and keep the cards that give advantage to them, like the MC letters from Clinic Unimas, whereas they can use it when they need it. Moving on to the next slide, we have the X substitution. No, it has nothing to do with your axis. These X symbols actually indicates that the player can be transported to a much faster route by signing another attendance list at the attend lectures or vice versa. When players get to the X, they must answer a question in order to get a shortcut. However, if they fail to answer the question, it may cause the players to return to where they left off and get to the lower X. So, that's all about our Methonopoly. So how do you play Methonopoly? The instruction is just the same as Monopoly. You guys can read it on your own though, so there is no need for further explanation from me. So how do you determine which is the winner? It's easy, just follow 2 steps depending on your situation. The champion is the player that got the highest value of properties, which is books and money at the end of the time set. Second one is if the players have the same value of properties, then the winner will be determined by the value of books, because knowledge is more valuable than books. I'm going to simplify the whole thing here. After playing Methonopoly, we realize certain things. First is that we learn to help each other out. Second is that we can share creativity in solving questions. Third, we learn new methods from each player. Fourth, we learn how to spend wisely. And lastly, the solution to solve differentiation question becomes easy to remember. So what can we say about the game? Overall, I would say that the results shown above indicates that players become quicker and able to solve the differentiation question with an accurate answer. This is because every question card has their own level of difficulty. Even so, we observe that the limitations of the game could be when players use too much time during their turn or lack of brain power. Each player needs to play upper hands than their opponent by observing how other players solve the question and smartly strategized. Just like you play PUBG, eh? I think that's all for me about Methonopoly. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would appreciate if you give a feedback about our game. That's all. Have a nice day.